Hi, everyone, and welcome to today's episode of Habayta Podcast. I'm your host, Shira Simmonds, and today I'm so excited to be joined by Michal Hubschmann, who is the co-founder and CEO at Always Connect AI. So, Michal, so nice to meet you.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So, Michal, I would love to just understand a little bit more about how Always Connect AI works. Obviously, I've been to your website. I kind of understand the concept, especially as my network is always going down. And every Zoom call I have is disconnected. Hopefully this call will not be disconnected between us. But I would love to just understand a little bit more about your company and the technology that you've created.
Excellent. Thank you. So Always Connect AI is enabling any device, whether it's your mobile phone, your computer, it can be even a military system, to be connected to the internet in a success rate of 99.9%. In today's world, you understand how important it is. It's all about connectivity.
Oh, yes. So let me just ask you, is this something that can only be connected to the networks directly, or as a consumer, can I somehow connect into this to increase my connectivity?
It's a good question. We are a B2B company. We are going to sell our technology to large companies that will provide you the service. So you as a consumer, a B2B2C, will be able to connect at the end of the day in your device, in your computer, in any IoT device. Even today in our home, there are so many IoT devices that need to be connected. And you know what happens if one of them is disconnected.
Unfortunately, I do. And especially here in Israel, on my yeshuv specifically, when it starts raining, it's like, I don't know what happens. It's like rain is new every year to us in this area. And the systems don't know how to react and they keep shutting down. So very interesting. So maybe you could just explain from a high level, technically, how does this work? Meaning, is this not something already that like Cellcom and Bezek are already leveraging and utilizing? How does your technology connect into them and increase the connectivity?
What we are doing, we are actually combining the whole services that are available. That can be cellular, that can be Wi-Fi, that can be Bluetooth, and that can be, of course, satellite network. Cool. So what we are doing, we are giving the scoring to any service. So we understand what is the level of connectivity in any service, and then we bring them some KPIs. On the other side, we analyze the data in the consumer side. So we understand if there is a video, if there is a text, if there is a telemetry. And then what we are doing, this is one of our main stronger patent, is that we're able to predict how the network, how the bandwidth will look like in the next second and two. And based on that, we're able to transmit the data per packet, per service at the same time, and able potentially to use the best of the network in any condition.
Okay. So basically, you're able to kind of predict, based on what you're using, this is going to be the available network for you, and then place you on that right network. Is that, in layman's terms, correct?
In a very high level, yes.
High level, yeah. Okay, that's amazing. And so what is involved? Let's say, I'm assuming, are you marketing this in Israel? Are you marketing it outside of Israel? Where's your clientele right now?
So actually now we are in status that we are post-POC, pre-MVP. We already proved our 3 granted patents in a successful POC with one of the larger cellular network and also in one of the satellite network. So we call it a POC on cloud. So our clients bring their files and then we can already show them how their network will look like with our unique algorithm in the next second and two. And based on that, we are starting selling our product and will be in live within 3 to 6 months with our first 2 major clients. One of them from Israel and one of them from United States, which is a very unique combination.
That's amazing. That is the combination. So I'm so excited for you, Michal. That's perfect timing. So maybe you can just share with our listeners, because we have a lot of listeners that are here in Israel that have made Aliyah. We have others that are thinking of coming. And for me, it's just so important to showcase incredible stories and technology innovation here in Israel. And I just read on your LinkedIn that you were a champion for Israel in long jumping. So how did you start with that as an athlete and then, come up with this incredible idea and create this technology? Maybe you can just share with our listeners your story and your adventure.
So actually that was a long time ago. I was a youth. I was a European champion in long jump for youth. And I think that's what brings me today to be serial entrepreneur, because there are so many similarities between being an entrepreneur and being an athlete. So, working very hard, understand there is a competition. Sometimes you fail and you need to move on to the next step with a smile and with the same motivation and even more. And this is very similar to being an athlete. I think the only thing that I can tell which is not similar is that here in being an entrepreneur, it's all about the team. It's a teamwork. You need to bring all the team together. And one of the things which I learned during my years, as I told you, I'm a serial entrepreneur, already built and sold one successful company in the Netherlands. I lived there for 18 years. And I sold it while we were 80 employees and a turnover of 100 million euro.
Wow.
Is the main success starting the first, I call it round table. The first round table is like the round table of the founders or the key people, let's call it. And these key people need to have a level of harmony in certain stage that will bring them to the next level. So they always need to manage all their conversation in the highest respect as possible. And this is the key for success for a startup, as far as I concerned.
Absolutely. So talking about that, how many team members do you have right now in your company?
So we have 8 people.
Okay.
4 of them is the core. And then we have between 4 to which is the team that is developing our first MVP. And of course, we have board members as advisors in a high level, not from Israel, some of them from Israel, specialize in satellites, specialize in network management. At the end of the day, you need to find all these domains and to have those expertise in order to make sure you always have the right advice when you need it.
Absolutely. And you kind of touched upon, a few things. So first of all, we also have Habayta jobs. So any company that we have on the podcast, if you're looking to hire, to post, it's free of charge. It's a tzedakah to really help Olim here in Israel that are, here already, and others that want to come to Israel to help find work. But absolutely in terms of, making sure that you have experts in every area. And it sounds to me, Michal, and this might be something that we have in common as female founders and CEOs, that the culture of your company and the respect that you have for your team members is so important to you. Would you agree with that? Yeah.
Absolutely. And this is something I would love to bring to the audience as well, something that they will remember. First, to dream. Dare to dream, have the courage to do things. And when you find the team, find some times to be with them for a couple of weeks, do some things with them, make some conversation, even make some small POCs in even other domain, just to see how is the dynamic between you. Because after you are starting the startup and you have all this contract and founders agreement, it will be more challenges to separate. So try to avoid it. It will help you as a team to do it better and faster.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think having like these team building activities and just knowing your team on a personal level about their family life, about, everybody has that work life, and it's so important to be able to understand where everybody's coming from, have that sensitivity, but also to be friends. I think that's very important in terms of the culture of your team, So that I love that. I love that you're talking about that. So Michal, maybe you can just share, what is your background? How did you come up with this idea? I would just love to understand that journey.
Actually, my background is more in management, on building a large company from idea to a big scale with millions of users. And actually, the Always Connect AI venture started with even with application. It was an application for safety and with AI. And during the development time that we started raising money, one of the investors said, "It's look good, but there is no real technology here." What is the technology? Because application anyone can duplicate in a couple of months, which is true. And then we thought of all this safety application. What happened when there is no connectivity, right? And you know all these safety applications. There are so many of them, which are important, of course. Yeah, if you are in the parking, if there is in the desert, if there is no connectivity, if there is a terrorist attack, disaster, at the end of the day, you need solution. So then I started to search for these kind of technologies, and I spoke with a couple of PhDs from Weizmann universities and other universities. And I found this team to help me and bring the company in the first roundtable, as we call it, to bring this technology. And step by step, we understood that this technology can bring the company to a different level, and a different level that is not yet exist. We immediately registered 3 patents. That one of them is already fully granted, and we decided to stop developing the application and being a technology company. And that was a brave decision to tell my shareholder, this is now the direction. We believe that this will bring the company to be hundreds of $1 million valuation, and not an application as a B2C. So that was the main shift in the mindset, and I'm very glad that we are doing that.
And like you said, you have patents on this technology. So any satellite, cellular, Wi-Fi need to work with you in order to implement and leverage this technology.
Yes, they should. Yeah, this is a software development kit that every company will be able to install it in their environment and bring it and serve it to their clients in order to always analyze, always scan and score all the network to promise their customer 99.9 availability. And you know, especially here in Israel, but anywhere, today, anywhere, how connectivity is the basic need of each one of us, that I feel in a personal level that it's bringing impact, bringing positive impact. I love to come every morning and knowing that we are doing something that will make a better world and will bring more people in the highest safety level.
Absolutely. Like I'm just thinking of, Mada, my daughter is a paramedic, and, how important that connectivity is, and when there is, God forbid, a terror attack or something that does happen and many people are calling at once, how to manage that overload. And then also just in the hospital settings as well, I can imagine. So I'm sure obviously in business, it's crucial, but business is money, right? But this is actually saving lives. Think about the airplanes that are up there. Like I'm just thinking of all the different use cases of how this connectivity is so crucial. Even a millisecond could make a difference.
Absolutely. You see that, as you mentioned, it's starting to be very busy with all these devices. And I would like to share that the first client is from the defense sector.
Wow.
Because as we realize in the last 2 years, there are becoming more and more military systems in smaller areas that they need to move and to react on a very critical mission. And I would like to share some facts that I'm not sure the audience know, but 70% of the mission critical today fail only because of network connectivity congestion.
Really? 70% of you're saying specifically in the military?
In a mission critical, yeah.
Incredible. Wow.
So like you said, every millisecond can save life or can make the difference between successful mission or failure. A mission that, as you say, it's not about money, it's priceless.
Yeah.
It's about success and life saving, not only soldiers, but also civilians.
Absolutely.
So now our main goal is to prove this technology with this large client on the field with a large amount of data. And then we believe that the orders will start come one after one, and we can already see it talking to client. We are going to conference, and there are many technologies in the field, right? There are some competitive that do other things. At the end of the day, what's make our, let's say, unique value proposition is the algorithm that do it better and faster and more accurate. And
Wow, that's unbelievable. And definitely the fact that the algorithm is focused on better and faster. I mean, that's what we need. We need faster. And when you're saying 70% of the failures come from, this connectivity, I guess lag, right? Is that what the main issue is? Is that there's a delay, right?
there is a delay, there is a packet lost. Packet loss of images during mission critical is a
Wow,
very
wow.
big issue. And not even a packet, voice of.
Yes. It's very scary, but I absolutely love that you're here in Israel and that your first, use case is really working with the military and the defense system, because that's what, I mean, it's our family that's out there that are doing these missions, and it's incredible that you're, devoting your time to that. So in terms of the market for you, where can you see yourself expanding into? You mentioned the US, you mentioned Israel. Do you have plans as to where you'd like to expand into internationally?
The first big market will be the US.
Okay.
And we're already working, as I mentioned, with one of the largest company in the US that will be our distributor.
Amazing.
We also have some grants. There are many grants also for companies like us that can make it faster as well. It's very important for companies, for founders to look for specific grants. The US market is very big, also very big in satellite, has a lot of use cases, as you mentioned. And we also we see the trend now. The trend is going really fast, especially in the domain that I just mentioned in the defense. Just another fact for our audience, today there are 16,000 satellites in space. There are going to be more than 100 satellites in 2020. 30. So we're talking about a huge growth in LEO satellites, which are the main satellite that use for defense and mission criticals. So connectivity becoming very important every day.
Are these satellite companies themselves kind of working on this similar technology, would you say? Who are your main kind of competitors that are working on this?
I think that the question that you ask is a question that you actually may ask every question. I mean, every company, every satellite company or every routing company, they do everything. They have like 50 domains that they need to be good at. But what we are looking at, Always Connect AI, is to be the best in one specific domain, which is making the smarter routing decisions. And once we bring to the market this component, this IP, that we focus only do the best in routing management, how we do it, it's a different story. But this is the core. Then normally the largest companies either we license it for years, is they will buy the whole IP. That's the way it works from experience. So of course they do it. The question is how they do it. And if we can prove them within less than 1 year how they do it and monitor it and how we do it and show the gap, the delta, that's the story. Like we said before, it's all about numbers. Do it faster, do it better, do it accurate, and it's priceless. Also, if we look at the financial part, it's billions a year that they lose sometimes because of network connectivity, because they have some standards they need to promise to their clients. They get fines.
Absolutely. So they need this in order to not get fined and to maintain their standards.
Absolutely, and they have some customer that can leave them, and there is some percentage that talk about this as well. This is also can be $100 million for 1 year for one company.
Right.
Just because of company losing their customers. So there are so many aspects, impact and financials, that bring this solution to be a successful, and time to market is also essential for us. For startup, you need to work fast.
Oh yeah. So what are your marketing plans? You mentioned that you are at trade shows and you're working with distributors, but how else are you planning on getting this amazing idea out there?
So as we said, we're going to have the first 3 clients that will be mainly the showcase that will prove the data, and our distributors in the US and in other companies that we will aim will start sell our solution. There are some integrators in our field. You need to find the big companies that they distribute it for yourself. They already have the connection. They already have the client, and for them, it's one of the another technology that can bring to their already packet of service advantage.
Do you feel like that's a little bit of a challenge for you being here and kind of identifying who those distributors are and who those integrators are and reaching out to them and scheduling calls with them? How do you go about doing that?
Actually, not at all. Today, the world is so small.
Yeah.
So you have all this data available, and you have also some program that actually we took part of a program in one of the accelerators that focus on defense.
Amazing.
Yeah, that helps us to bring these integrators to the first conversation and how to bring your solution to be a dual use solution. So there are many programs and many ways to learn how to find them, how to contact them, and how to make them trust
Yes.
on your technology, which is
Absolutely.
the most important thing, because you can imagine that so many technologies they are out there and they need to choose you. So you
Yeah.
need to bring this age and to show them why you.
And I think the validation of working with the IDF, right, and working with our defense and military is probably the best validation that you can have when, especially when you reach out to other countries. So very, very smart move to start there. And also, very compelling and emotional for me that we're able to provide this to the military. So Michal, thank you so much for joining Habayta. This was so fun and so innovative, and I really only wish you the best of success and that hopefully you will reach my networks personally so that I can benefit from the best connectivity, because I know that I need it, as does so many others here in Israel and abroad. So really wishing you only the best. Thank you so much for joining.
You to all your audience, and I hope that I inspired you and gave you at least one tip that you can take to your entrepreneurship life.
Absolutely. You gave so many gems. I'm going to have to highlight them throughout my reels. But yes, thank you so much, Michal. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.